Distributor. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again for coming, for viewing the Diaspora panel. This is the Diaspora panel. We are the voice of the diaspora. We discuss issues of Nigerian politics and sometimes global politics. Today, I have with me, as always, I have Mr. Lawal, who is based in Canada. Mr. Lawal, you are welcome to today's meeting.
Thank you for having me.
I have also the political juggernaut, Mr. Adediba, who is based in America. Mr. Adediba, you are welcome.
It's my pleasure being here tonight.
And the last but not the least is Mr. Ademola Desa, who is a political commentator also from the United Kingdom in Europe. Mr. Ademola Desa, you are also welcome.
Oh, thank you. I'm very happy to be here.
My name is Deji Olaya, and I am based in the Republic of Ireland. In the last 1 week thereabout, we have all seen the chaos that Nigeria is headed onto. We've seen an oil-producing country where there is scarcity of oil, that people are queuing for days without end to buy fuel. We've seen a country, the largest economy in Africa, where people are not able to withdraw money from their banks. We've seen images of people nakeding themselves in banks because they took their money to the bank are not giving them back their money. We've seen instances of this same money in the hands of bandits in the bush. We've seen the same instance of this money being sprayed by the bourgeoisie in parties, spraying it over their girlfriend and all that. And this is what is going on. And a lot of people have come out and said, this is the handiwork of the cabals in government. We've heard governor of Kaduna State who have come out to say that there are certain elements in government who, after losing out in the presidential primaries, are still adamant. They are still opposed to the candidacy of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. The Asiwaju himself came out to say that he knew there are some people working against him. Now, to start with you, Shupo, how can a sitting government be creating chaos, be creating petrol queues, be creating money problems just 1 month to a presidential election? Are they planning to win or are they planning to lose?
Well, thank you very much for having me this morning. It is actually a very interesting scenario because even if you look at countries where there are bad governments, so to speak, what bad governments typically do around election time is they make things better for their people. They make life easier, to try and cajole people to vote for them, for another term. Sad to say, Nigeria is a country where almost the opposite of reality always happens. But I think when you look at the president's inner circle, I think there are two things that you can actually pick from this. I think if you look at people like Maman Daura, who, for example, is known to be one of the people that the president listens to, the Attorney General, Shehu Malami, and a couple of others. You don't really see much diversity within that inner circle, and the fact that at this moment Nigeria is experiencing those challenges, to me would indicate that their ideology may not necessarily be an ideology that you would see from a political party. I think it's probably more of an ideology that is not inclusive, that is probably pursuing a different strategy, which probably might be a strategy of not wanting the election to hold for some reason or the other. And I'm glad that the governor of Kaduna State actually came out to openly express his feelings about what is happening. So it's it's sad that this is happening at a time when Nigerians are preparing for another election, and it seems like they may be trying to sabotage specific candidates from being able to show fairly in the incoming election.
Thank you very much, Chico. Lighton,
Yeah.
I'm seeing what to call a deja vu. If you go back in 1990 through 1993, Buhari was still in power. There was an election won by MKO. Then you have this Association for Better Nigeria, led by, I've forgotten the name of this man from the East.
Bola Davis.
No, it's a man from the East.
Uzerebe.
Yeah, thank you very much, Uzerebe. And then they created a problem. There was going back and so there was chaos. And eventually somebody won the election. The election was annulled. I'm kind of seeing that kind of deja vu. It's like we are back there in 1992. Do you think that some elements from the North are plotting to extend Northern rule over the South?
Yeah, DG. Thank you for asking me this question. It seems that you said it all.
Oh, please unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, please. What's going on? Hello?
Sorry. Hello, I'm there.
Okay.
The elements, they are inherent in APC, and they are in the corridor of power in the villa, where all decisions that affect the party structure emanates from. These are the people who are, because in the initial stage, Buhari never wanted Tinubu to become the president. He wanted this Senate president, right? So, and all of them, but Tinubu, being a fighter, he fought himself to get the ticket of his party, right? And supported by the northern governors, right? He won the party. But these people, they bent on not giving him. From the action and deeds, from what President Buhari and his action, they are saying. Because he said he doesn't want anybody to use money. He doesn't want anybody to use talk to become the president. He wants any party for a president. Sitting president will be saying that he wants any party that can win should win an election. I have the video clips where he said it. And to buttress what I've just said, the question you asked me, the chairman, APC, said they will teach Tinubu lesson with the BBC, in his BBC interview. He said, for what he said, insulting President Buhari, they will teach him lesson. He is not going to win. He ain't go nowhere. So these are the things. These are the people at the corridor of power who are bent on, coupled with the Mefele, the Malami, the Sango Kataf, and all these people. And Tunde Bale, all these Tunde Ima, Mefele, Sango, Daura, and all Atiku supporters. So they are there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Demola, we have a president who won the 2015 election at the back of a bullion van. His election was won by using money politics. The same thing happened in 2019. There's no doubt that money played part of how he got into power. Now, this same president said now he wants to leave a legacy. But even if you want to leave a legacy of credible election, do you have to cause chaos in your own country?
Oh, thank you, Deji. I don't think Buhari is innocent of all what is going on in the country now. He's part of the whole process. I know people are people are trying to be very polite and try to exonerate him that he is innocent, he doesn't know what is going on. It's absolutely nonsense. he knew what is going on. He never hid his feeling, and he has never come out to say he's in support of Tinubu up to now. He never, in any explicit form, to say that Tinubu is his preference to succeed in, either at the primary or even after the primary up to now. Buhari, for him to say that he's being neutral is really, really playing upon people's intelligence. There is no way you can be neutral for your party when your party is vying for an election, and you are saying that you want to be neutral. Are you the election empire? It's INEC that's supposed to be neutral. The president has no right to be neutral. He's a party man, and his party is contesting. If your party is not contesting, it's a different issue. We don't say that you should manipulate it for him, but that doesn't mean that you cannot support your capital candidate. So absolutely, Buhari is the number one culprit on not wanting Tinubu to succeed. Now, the question always is, did North really want to transfer power to the South? Because that is the question that is coming out now. People are believing that the North actually want to retain power for themselves. Even when they have the worst candidate ever to be contesting under PDP, they still want it to be there, and that is why they are demanding the ruling party. So we know, everybody know in Nigeria, the role Buhari played all along in Nigeria with tribalism. Is the greatest tribalist in Nigeria. He dominated the whole apparatus of government with people of his kin, his friends, and under the influence. I can't even say under the influence of the cabal, because he is the cabal himself. He's part of the people that were always behind what you call the Kaduna Mafia before. He's part of the Kaduna Mafia before, and he's also assistant. He's still one of the most powerful players in the North. So he cannot be exonerated from all this. So it's part of the problem, and I think it's not that he doesn't want Tinubu to become president, but he doesn't want the power to come to the South.
Thank you very much. That's a very powerful. Shupo, I'm looking at it this way. In 2015, when Buhari wanted to contest, he has contested about 3 times. And as Tinubu said it, he said Olule 3 times. Before Tinubu now came in, and the ACN came in, they formed an alliance. And Tinubu did everything in the primaries and in the real election to make sure that Buhari wins. He gave him everything, all the support, financial and everything. He gave him everything. In fact, he took everything he had and gave it to Buhari. Same thing in 2019. Tinubu made sure there was no opposition. As at the time that they were merging in 2015, the ACN has about 5 governors. The CPC had nothing. Tinubu then should have actually said, well, I have 5 governors. I should be the president. But he gave him everything. And then 2019, he did the same thing. For the same man now, Buhari to now turn around to bite the finger that fed him. Do you think that president is a traitor?
I think let's take it a step back. I think Tinubu, as many people may love him or not love him, I think the man has principles in certain things. And one of the things that I see as the reason why he probably agreed to let Buhari go was because of the agreement, the gentleman's agreement that everybody had, that, if the current president is from a particular place, maybe the North, then the next time he will be from the South. I believe in that mindset that Tinubu, even though he had 5 ACN governors, agreed for Buhari to run on the top of the ticket, so that, with running against Goodluck Jonathan, then power can actually go back to the North. What is happening in this case is that the North is not fulfilling their own end of the bargain. And I will say that it is not only in the APC that this is happening. We have seen the same thing also happen in the PDP, where it's even worse. As a matter of fact, when they chose their chairman, it was from the north with the intent that the presidential candidate was going to be from the south. Only when it got to that time, they reneged on that agreement. What I see is that there is an agenda. There is an agenda to perpetuate power only to the north. It may have worked in previous times. It is not going to work in this time round. I think anybody, and I would like to say this clearly, for anybody who is listening, anybody who believes that they can, maneuver and manipulate, that is Nigeria of the old. I think anybody who does that right now is playing with fire and may eventually do things that will make other regions in the country to say, you know what, we either renegotiate this federation or, we go our own separate ways.
Thank you very much, Shukwa. So, Lighton, based on that, where Shukwa have ended, I'm going to ask you now on that question. It's a deja vu. Under deja vu. Now, in 1979, when Shagari won the election, an Igbo man, architect Ekweme, was the vice president. And the calculation was that after Shagari's 8-year rule, Ekweme will become the president. But that was truncated by this same Buhari in 1984. So that an Igbo man was not allowed to become president. And we saw what happened from there on. The military went going on and on, all led by the North. For about 20 years or thereabout, all led by the North. Until in 1992, when it was evident that the country was going to break into pieces. And then they hastily agreed to go and bring Obasanjo out of prison in 1999 to make him a president in 1999. Now, we are there again now, where it's most likely that there's going to be another June 12th issue. Lighton, the question I want to ask you is, if perchance, by any stroke of bad luck, you have an Atiku or a Kwankwaso win this election, another person from the North win this election, what do you think will happen?
Nigerians, we are docile. We enjoy our lives, and for the purpose, anybody that cannot die for a purpose, for a cause he believes in, he must not be living. These people, it will happen, and they will use soldier, they will use army, they will use air force, everybody to intimidate the people, to sit down in their homes. Anybody that wants to raise an eyebrow like Sunday Igboho, they will just kill them. That is the sort of Nigeria we have. They perpetrated, I always say it here, on this forum, that they perpetrated this evil long time ago. They are planning seriously. We are busy, we want to win power, but these people, they are not ready to give us power. They are not ready to give us power. We are just permutating, we are doing this, we are doing that. How can some calculated view in Aso Rock, a collusion with the president that was helped, that contested 3 times, never won an election, that they just brought him, come and win this election on the platter of gold, with gentleman agreement after you then that will become the president. He now reneged in that promise. Though it was not written, it was not signed, there was no affidavit to it, but it was gentleman agreement that after you, I will become the president. The president is now dilly-dallying. The Fulani, they have agenda. They want to carry out their agendas. The agenda is to suppress the whole nation, to suppress everybody. And nobody, mark my word, right? They've not finished that agenda. Until they finish that agenda, they will give power to the South. Mark my word. No, power is not shifting anywhere. Power is not shifting. Mark my word. Today, you said it. It seems like you have the inclination that you said they will take over power. They will do this. They will do that. That is the agenda. The agenda is to bring all their people, everybody from other Africa to come and settle in Nigeria. Once they settle, they will take over Nigeria. That is what they want to do. And once they feel that, they will suppress, they will repress everybody. So that is the.
Please unmute yourself again. Unmute. What has happened? Lighton, please unmute. Yeah.
These people, they have agenda, right? Is to make sure the oppressor, they take over Nigeria.
Okay.
Right? The issue is not mad that you are seeing Buhari in his true color. Right? It was the one that invited them in year 2001. Let everybody come to Nigeria, visa free. So they know what they are doing, and they are giving them ID card. They are giving them a name, identification number. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Demola, are you there?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Right.
I'm with you.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you exactly the same question that I asked Lighton. The question is, do you think what these cabals are doing is possible of breaking up Nigeria into pieces?
I don't pray that they will succeed in what they are doing. And I don't believe that they will succeed. I believe they will certainly, this time around, fail in that venture. They managed to succeed with MKO Abiola because the military was in power then. But with this political state, I don't think they will succeed this time around. Now, there are two things why there is a scenario that has already, they practice it, they try it at the primary. And that was when Tinubu cried out and fought back gallantly and disturbed all their plan. And that is what brought out the Abeokuta false pronouncement of Emilokan. And he fought back gallantly and he beat them down, hands down, at the primary. Now, they've tried it again. He's the first one to see it coming. And he has cried out again. They are retrieving their steps. Some of them are now hiding their color, trying to deny the whole thing and coming back to into the forum. So I don't think this time around they will do it. They will create damage if they have not already created some damages already. But in the end, they will fail. Now, if they succeeded, it will really shook the entity of Nigeria. Nigeria will never be, I don't wish so, but I don't think Nigeria will be one again. Because for the last 8 years, Nigerians have been holding their breath, counting the days, counting the hours, counting the years for all this to end. We have an opportunity to bring Nigeria back and retain the entity of Nigeria in this year election. That is why this year election is more important than any other election that we have done before. So it's not possible, and I don't think it should be possible because it will destabilize Nigeria to a great extent.
Thank you very much, Demola. So, Shubo, I can see you are raising your hand. So
yeah, so I totally agree with what Mr. Demola just said. I think, to put it squarely this way, in any country, no specific group of people, I don't care whether you are from the north, the south, the east, the west, should want to dominate anybody. It is a mindset that is based out of greed, nothing more. And we all know what will eventually happen to people who are greedy. It will eventually take their life in that course. So I think it is very, very clear, whoever these cabals are and whatever they are planning, if it is not an agenda of inclusion, if it is not an agenda that should bring Nigerians together to create a nation, there's only one thing that can end it, and that is that they will fail.
Thank you very much. So the question I was going to ask you actually is, each time when it's time for the South to put power down, the South agrees. Obasanjo, agreed in 1979. He said promise was going to put the power down, even though Gowon before him reneged on that promise. Obasanjo put the power down for the ready to come there. But each time it's time for the North, people like Buhari, people like Buhari, people like Absalom, people like IBB, people like Abacha. When it is time for them, to put power down for the South, why is it always a problem? Why?
Well, again, it is a mindset that is based out of greed. When you want only yourself, only your people, and only your kind to dominate everybody else. There is no opportunity for other people. The only thing is that everybody else must be subservient to your own wishes. That is not going to work. Nigeria is too sophisticated. I mean, Nigerians are too sophisticated for that kind of an arrangement. They've managed to maybe do that for a long time. That is not possible any longer. And that's why I said earlier, whoever has this agenda and is doing whatever is within their power to implement it, they are really toying with fire. And there can only be one outcome. And that outcome is what eventually happens to greedy people. They will lose in that endeavor. And I would say, unfortunately, that may actually encourage other parts of the country to either enforce to negotiate the federation, or you know what, just walk away.
Thank you very much, Igor. Lighter.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, I want to know your thoughts. This oil issue. Nigeria is the 5th largest oil producing country in the world. We sell crude oil. We have 3 refineries. Dangote is building the largest refinery in the world. There are a lot of all these small refineries. One in those states. How did we come to a point that only NNPC? Now, what I heard is that people who are now importing oil for Nigeria, the petroleum motor spirit, when they import the oil, they have to give it to NNPC to distribute. Why can you not just allow people to bring their oil from abroad and sell it? What is so different? What is so difficult in removing this so-called fraud called subsidy? Why? What is so difficult about it?
The point, the philosophers, they interpreted the word. The point is to change it. These people, their aim to grab power is to suppress everybody. We should know we are just faced with unnecessary suffering in Nigeria. The government, to get money, you suffer. To work for money, you suffer. To spend the money, you have to suffer. To do everything, you have to suffer for it. So it has become an act in Nigeria. Everybody believes that is a way of life. That, okay, you must have to suffer to do anything in Nigeria. Which should not be. Everybody, all of them, they've been to overseas. They know how it operates. How can there be only somebody will be enjoying a monopoly that you give them? Why initially? Okay, why do you give them license when you think that? And then NNPC should be importing directly now. Let NNPC be importing. You don't give them the license to bring crude oil to Nigeria. I mean, petroleum to Nigeria, and be saying, okay, let the crude oil pass through NNPC. That is how what they did to NEPA. The NEPA, you will generate light in the western, in the southwest, in the east. Then you will take it to the north. Then they will now distribute it. You see the mentality in Nigeria. This is what we made to suffer for everything. These northern people, this is what they do. They put the problem they plug God into, and our leaders in the south. So this is a problem, just to hold firm to the power. So once they will just be giving you crumbs. So once they give you crumbs, you will silence your people. Leave them, let them do this, let them do that, let them do that. Don't be surprised. The Buhari, he promised heaven and earth. Before I supported him, everybody, I'm a laughing stock in our sheet, in the battle. Buhari, people, February. These are the insults we received. And they say Buhari want to paralyze the whole APC because of one person. It doesn't realize that this NNPC that they make petroleum to scarce. It will affect both senator, rep member, House of Assembly, councillor, chairman. Everything will be affected. Everybody will be affected. No, Tinubu got to Elisha. They are stolen him. In the roundabout Elisha, they wanted to. So these are this is pent up angers. People cannot eat. People cannot feed. People cannot do anything. They can't move out. In Nigeria, they have ready to in the Mefele. Then they release the Mefele that wanted to be charged for felony. They release him. Okay, go and change the dollar. Go and change the color of naira. Right? They pardon him. Right? He was sponsoring. Unconfirmed report said he was sponsoring
terrorism.
Terrorism. He was sponsoring terrorism. So they wanted to keep picking. So the Daura. So Sango Daura said, Mr. President, leave him. Let him change the. We want to deal with Tinubu. Let him come and deal with Tinubu. He will deal with Tinubu for us. We will use him to deal with Tinubu. So he will change the naira. The following day, Buhari said he doesn't want anybody who will be using talks. He doesn't want anybody who will be using money to win the election. Who is he referring to? Right? So they followed. They went to all the Oshodi, Ojota Gara. They arrested all the boys there. So this is a war targeted towards somebody.
Thank you. Demola, what is your take? Why can an oil-producing country like Nigeria, with such big economy, why do we have to be suffering from this oil issue? What is so difficult in removing an oil subsidy that doesn't work? Right.
It's not that.
Hold on. Lighten, you have something to say?
Yeah. Is it oil subsidy that matters or build petroleum, build refinery? Okay. Buhari promised 6 refineries, 6 regions. I mean, the 3 regions. That was what he said when he was campaigning. Okay. So they didn't do anything. Okay. All the subsidy keep piling up, over exaggerated every day.
Okay. Demola, so over to you now. Over to you.
The oil issue in Nigeria, we know it. In the last few months, when these people have been exposed, the oil theft, the people that are bunkering and stealing the oil, it shook the fiber of Nigeria.
They have not given us any name. We just saw we saw all the pipes, all the pipeline, but they haven't given us any name up to now.
Look, AG, we know every bad thing that's happening in Nigeria, and we know people that are doing it, but none of them have name. That is Nigeria for you. The oil, let me put it this way. The oil issue is a Buhari issue. There is only one minister for oil, and that is the president himself. Buhari know about NNPC that anybody in Nigeria today. The cradle, the development, and the present status. And he has the opportunity to put sanity there. Why is he unable to do it? Is he benefiting from it? Because if he's not benefiting from it, Why is it crumbling under his watch? So there is nothing about the oil that Buhari doesn't know. The scarcity is Buhari's handwork. And it's not sincere to Nigeria. If you want to stop today, it will stop today. The cash scarcity is Buhari handwork. If you want it to stop today, it will stop today. So it's not because it's just the president, it's the architect. And it's also implementing it. And he has it because he doesn't want power to shift to the south.
Thank you very much, Demola.
He is the one that is playing Nigeria and doesn't want Nigeria. That is the anti-right. That is what we are seeing. If we have a president that is in charge of all this, and the main thing that he's in charge of is the one that is the problem.
Thank you, Demola.
Let me see it as it is.
Let me go over to Lawal.
It's not just because the president.
Actually, before you ask your question, I think I will re-echo some of what Mr. Adisa is just saying, because I think if we look at things generally, in Nigeria, we don't seem to do things that will be in the best interest of the country. We seem to do things that are in the best interest of certain people. If you look at the power setup, for example, states are not allowed to, pursue their own efforts to generate power within their, for their respective states. Why? Why should states put all of their power generation resources into the national grid as the only way? I mean, if you look at more advanced societies, they actually regionalize it. And if you look at it from even a common sense perspective, you don't want one single system, because if that system collapses, what happens? The entire country collapses. But if you ask yourselves, why are we doing these things? It's not because the people that are doing it in the best interest of the country. They are doing it for their own interests. This is a consistent problem in Nigeria. It is high time that whoever these people are begin to understand that we actually will be stronger as a country if we celebrate and actually use our diversity. Let regions of the country that are good in different things, let them develop at their own pace. At the end of the day, everybody will enjoy the prosperity. Everybody will enjoy the goodwill as citizens of Nigeria. Everybody will be looked on as a citizen of a country that is doing very well on the international stage. But this cockamamie mindset of let us hold everybody ransom until they do what we want can only result into one thing: the destruction of the people who have that mindset, who are implementing it, and are not allowing God's purpose for the rest of the country to come to pass. And that is exactly what's going to eventually happen.
Thank you very much. Laita, I'm going to come back to you now. I'm going to ask you, I wanted to talk about the Naira issue, but I'm going to leave that now because the time is fast spent. But one issue that I want us to dwell on is, it looks to me like there's a mastermind behind Nigeria's problems, because there's somebody or some group of people or some powerful elements. They are preventing anybody who can change the fortune of Nigeria from getting to power. They prevented Zik from getting that power. They prevented Awolowo from getting that power. They prevented MKO from getting that power. Now they are preventing Tinubu again, who has turned around the fortune of Lagos, from getting to that power. But they want people like Shehu Shagari to get to power. They want people like Buhari to get power. They want people like Abacha to get to power. Because what I'm seeing here is that if you have somebody like Peter Obi or somebody like Tinubu get to power, there's no doubt there's going to be a difference in our governing process. But when you are now thinking about somebody like Atiku, somebody who sold everything in Nigeria for pennies, sold it to his acolytes, that's the person down there trying to. So do you think that Nigeria's problem is being called by some unseen hands in the background.
Yeah, DG. Is purely based on selfishness and self-aggrandizement. These people, right, they are protecting their own interest. Don't forget, the oil they are getting in the South. How many Southerners has oil rig? It's 99.9% of the oil they are getting. Those guys that have the license, they are Northerners. The emirs in the north, the major general, the retired general, everybody, they are. So you want their interest to be truncated. No, do you want their interest to be truncated? This is they are preventing themselves. They are preventing anybody who can raise an eyebrow against the anomalies, right? So that is what they are doing. Basically, that is what they are doing. Look at the way Obasanjo was imposed Shagari on us, right? Because he knows about what we talk, what we raise an eyebrow, right? Obasanjo to impose Yadua and all these people on us. Where we have better people who can rule Nigeria successfully, right? But they know somebody who they can let us dictate for this guy. Let us dictate for this guy. This one will not listen to us. This is what they want. They want a robot there. And Nigeria, Nigerians should take the country, right? They should take bull by the horn. It is now or never, right? Nigeria belongs to us. All these people, they should not be dictating for anybody. Vote according to your conscience, and the INEC must not be rigging election like they did in Osun, right? So they should not be. They should stop all this. It is high time. People should be speaking now. They should be asking questions. We need somebody we can be asking questions, not people that will be kissing their asses.
Thank you.
We don't. Yeah.
Thank you. Let me go because of time. Yeah. Demola, what is your reaction to what Lighton just said? Do you think that there are some unseen hands behind Nigeria's problems, from people trying to prevent somebody who can do the job, somebody who has the, not all this Buhari, not all this Shagari, not all this Obasanjo, not somebody who can really do this job, somebody who has somebody who has a track record like Tinubu, somebody like Obi, who we know that at least he is willing to make changes. What do you think that some people, there's some power play in the dark?
Yeah, there obviously, when we say there are also, when we say there are powerful, the kingmakers, the people that determine what Nigeria we mean, we know what we mean. They used to be, especially from the influence of the North, they used to be called the Kaduna Mafia. They are a group of elites right from the time of independence and during the military regime that they are highly influencing who is going to be who in the North. And that's regime, after the military and in the this second republic now, or third republic, they are called cabal. And those cabal are the power behind whoever is going to be what in the North. Their activities, even though they're influencing the power that be in the North, is affecting the whole nation, especially whenever the power rotates to the North. These cabal always want to dominate everything, to have their hands in every pot. They influence the president. The president have no say. Even when Yaradua was there, they could not make him even do anything without him on the demand die. And even Buhari himself, as he comes, he is surrounded by the cabal. He cannot listen to any reasoning from any other region. And that is why they are so influential in making sure that all appointments are dominated by the North. So some of the cabal include Maman Daura. Maman Daura is uncle to Buhari, and he used to be part of the Kaduna Mafia. And they dictates who is going to be who. He has so much influence on Buhari that Buhari can never say no to him. And they determine high quality appointment and contracts. So they have a vested financial and personal interest in government. There are billions of dollars in contracts that can never pass in Nigeria without them. So that is why they don't want things to come down.
Okay. Thank you, Demola. Let me pause you there now. We're just going to close now. So I'm just going to give you guys 1 minute each to say your social, declaration for today, and I'm going to start it with you, Shoko. Shoko, if you what do you call them? If somebody who prophesied a prophet, what do you think ahead for Nigeria in the next few weeks before the election? What do you think?
Well, what I would say is that Nigeria is at a crossroad, and a very important one, much, much, much more important than at any point in time in its history. And any desire, attempt, or will to thwart the people's will or mandate, I think will be very disastrous. That is all I would say.
Thank you very much. Lighter, what's your
my own take is to your turn to Israel. Oh, Nigerians. Yeah, if Nigeria is going to break, let Nigeria break now. Right, we cannot be subservient to people. They took machine to villages in the north to be giving them naira. People are suffering in the south. My mother, everybody cannot see. They can't get money to eat, to buy anything.
Actually, I mean, actually, I think the suffering is all in the north and in the south. I think it's cut across.
No, it's not. I will send you a video clip where they are changing money for them in the north. I will send it to you now. They are changing money for them. It's on my Facebook. I share it. They are giving them money in the north. In the villages, they are giving them money, and they spoke. Everybody spoke glowingly about CBN, that they are giving them money here in the villages.
Okay.
In the north. So why people are in the south? They are suffering. They have not. They don't eat. They don't do anything. Nobody can buy pure water. Nobody can buy anything.
But anyway,
so if you want to go, we cannot be in the same country and we'll be suffering. Why people are in the north will be enjoying.
From the information I have, however, there's a lot of sufferings also in the north. There's a lot of it's actually cut across the entire country. But I will look at the video, when after the summit to see what it means. Okay. Demola, what's your final take on this?
I pray for Nigeria, and I pray that we will overcome this, as we have overcome a lot of more difficult issues. This year is a blessed year, a year that God will take over the country. I implore everybody to please don't play into their textbook. Don't go into violence. Don't allow them to disrupt this election. These elections must hold, and we need to use our vote to really make Nigeria great again. Let's unify Nigeria by getting rid of these people and voting people that we know can keep Nigeria one.
Thank you very much. So we come to the end of today's deliberation. I want to thank everyone. And just before we close, I want to use this opportunity to tell all our viewers to subscribe. Please, if you have not subscribed yet, click that button right now. It is free of charge. We are not charging you for it. What it means then is that When we do the next video, you'll be one of the first people to know about the video. And if you do have any information for us, or there's something you want us to talk about, please send your queries to info@diasporapanel.com, and we'll respond to you as soon as we get your email. So, and I want to say to all Nigerians that, you see, the plan of some people, especially the so-called cabals, is to disrupt Nigeria, is to cause confusion, is to cause disaffection between the different regions in Nigeria, please. And I will advise, don't riot, don't demonstrate, just keep calm, wait for the election day, go and use your thumb to change the government and vote for the person that you think will do this job. That is my advice. And I want to thank you, Mr. Olalawal, for coming to today's deliberation. Mr. Lawal, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
And also, Mr. Olaitandidigba, thank you so much for your wonderful, wonderful contribution.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure.
Thank you. And Mr. Ademola Adisa, thank you for showing up today. Thank you for your wonderful contribution also. And I want to say thank you for being prompt.
Thank you
Thank
too
you
for
so much.
anchoring.
So much happy to be here.
Okay. Alaita, you were saying something?
Yeah, thank you for anchoring the show.
No problem at all. So to all our viewers, thank you so much for viewing, and please tell your friends to watch. You can send this to as many people as you want, and please make sure you subscribe to that. When you do the next video, you'll be one of the first people. Thank you, and I hope to see you again next week. God bless you.